wind ordinance, why is it,
Sorry, go ahead.
if we don't have a wind ordinance, why is it legal for them to go around and sign all these leases to put windmills on
Because
their
they're not
land?
putting windmills up. That's,
But they're planning on it.
they can plan all they want, but they're not going to put them up until things get passed, okay, until they meet those regulations.
Otherwise, they probably have them up already, I'm assuming.
Well, why? I guess I'm kind of confused here. It's like the cart before the horse. Wouldn't you think we would have like a windmill ordinance, or I mean, we're working on one, of course, but how did these companies even come in here? I mean, we don't even have a windmill ordinance. It's like it's almost like a predatory practice. You know what I'm saying? You know, why would they? They should say, well, when you get your windmill ordinance, we'll come and then we'll see if it's even feasible for us to even look at it. I guess I'm kind of.
Steve,
Yeah.
that's what it all came down to. It's like I said at the Legion Hall that time, I've had 3 turbine companies in my office because they come to me because I'm a landowner, I'm on the planning commission, I'm on the township board, they want information. Who better to get information from, okay? And like I said at that meeting, every one of them, I've laid out Denmark Township to them. I said, okay, here's the thumbnail of Denmark Township. We have Village of Reese, Village of Richville, 3 state highways, 2 railroads, 4 major power lines with a 5th one on the way, as four airstrips, if you can deal with it, that's your baby. I've laid out everything to all of them. They don't know if it's going to fit or not. What they have to do is see what land is available, and if it don't work, it don't work. Well, and what the ordinance looks like. And there will be nothing built until there's an ordinance on the books. And, you know, I've said that before. You know, we've got a moratorium in place, but that is a formality because I will vote for nothing, to approve nothing, until there's an ordinance on the books that spells out what the residents of Denmark Township want in a wind ordinance. That's why we're starting here. We're starting blank sheet of paper, meeting with Spicer to develop a wind ordinance, and nothing gets done until there's a wind ordinance in place spelling out where they could be allowed, where they definitely can't be allowed. Okay?
Right.
So that's where we're at. That's the long and short of it.
Well, these landowners, from what I understand, hired this Howard and Howard company, I mean, to go and get best bids or something. I think that's what Garner had said at the last township board meeting. I mean, what are they thinking? How do they even know? I mean, why are they putting money up front for this lawyer when they don't even know the windmills fit? I guess I'm confused there. It's like...
Just like going to Vegas. You ante up and you see where
Yeah,
it
but
goes.
you got plenty of time, you would think, to do that. Wouldn't you, Wayne? I mean, it's almost like this thing was a done deal and everybody was coming on board and...
No, it's not. It's
Steve,
not done by any stroke of the imagination.
Whatever happens, you're not going to satisfy 100% of the people in this township.
Oh,
Whatever
no.
happens.
I agree with that.
Whatever happens.
Yeah. But under the same context, I think they should try to satisfy the majority of the people and their views, right? I mean, that's what you're elected for, or you're not elected, you're appointed, right?
I'm elected to the township board.
Oh, right.
I'm appointed to
This job, but I mean, as township officials, I think it's your obligation to convey the majority of the people in your area.
Right, and that time's coming. That time's coming, Steve. It's not here yet.
Right.
That time's coming.
Right. Well, let's just keep.
But we have to have an approved ordinance first.
Yeah.
And any ordinance that gets developed goes to public hearings for approval. Okay. It's a long way.
Oh, we're a long ways
Right.
away. That's all I can say. I mean,
So
we're
it's
a long
just,
ways. Yeah.
it's baby steps. We just got to keep
Right.
putting little baby feet in front of each other. To keep
Steve,
moving
we had to
forward.
have people come in here and to actually reevaluate everything. We have people come into the wind ordinance, so we can sit down and listen to what the program is, so we can make a better decision on everything.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line on all that.
Right.
Has anybody looked at the Riga Township ordinance, what they developed down in southern Michigan?
To be honest with you, personally, Dennis was going to hand me a copy of that tonight, so I won't be getting that tonight. But again, it's just as a reference point for some things that we can take away from that possibly, or even the other. I think we've been presented with another ordinance as well from a neighboring township, and we're not going to take and copy and paste and put anything onto this ordinance that's going across. It's all going to be original, because like Wayne has been telling us for some time now that we have a blank sheet of paper for our ordinance, and that's exactly, we're going to start from scratch, and that's why we create this subcommittee to meet and comb through all the fine details that are going to pertain to this township that won't pertain to any other township that surrounds us. So, to answer your question, I suppose, yeah, we'll look at it, okay, and maybe take some things out of that and take some ideas, but to copy and paste that onto ours is not going to happen either. So,
I just gotta make one more comment. Your job should be pretty easy, because there's nobody here tonight that I know of that's supporting windmills. Or the last meeting we had at the town, at the VFW, there was 150 people and there was 3 that supported it. So it's pretty overwhelming. I mean, it should be a pretty easy job.
believe me, that's well, I wouldn't call it an easy job.
Well, I'm not, but I mean, it's pretty much the people are telling you what they want. And all these supporters that want it, I haven't seen them yet. Now, granted, I'm sure they're there, but if they don't have their opinion, like Wayne said at the first township meeting, if you don't tell us what you want, well, we're telling you what we want.
I agree with 100%, Dan. That's my viewpoint. Like I've been saying from the beginning, as far as my position, I could care less about what, about a windmill going up somewhere that's, I live in town, so I'm not gonna, it's not gonna bother me either way personally. But for me to see citizens going, and stating their opinions and telling me this is what they want, if I were to sit there and allow something to happen in this township that didn't carry over to the wants and needs of the citizens, I wouldn't be able to live here personally. And then, of course, I'd probably get run out of town by everybody else. But, I mean, as far as my conscience, there's no way I could let that happen. And I think that's a good place where I'm at personally, to be, as far as being removed from having a side in either one of these, camps, where I can take a look and say, that's what our goal is to take care of the people that are here. And I think I've said it about 5 times tonight, and I know that's the main concern. So I want you to rest assured that that is the main concern going into the subcommittee, going into our next planning commission meeting, and then what we put forward to the board as our final product. Thank you.
I've got a question to all of you on the board. I've talked to Josh Nolan and Kevin Martis a number of times, and they have, I guess you could say, enlightened me on a number of issues. Would you as a board be willing to listen to what they had to say, or what they?
Do you tell us who those people are, like what their position are, so we all understand?
They were down from Riga Township.
Okay, what?
And at one time, I believe Kevin Martis was on the zoning board, and they, basically the supporters, as far as I know, run off the board.
I've heard Kevin Marsh's presentation.
Right, any other?
Would you be willing to at least
Objectionally.
listen to what they have to say, or would it be a waste of time?
I wouldn't say it would be a waste of time, but well, personally, that's a gentleman that spoke at the middle school, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, personally, I've heard that statement. I've seen. To me, it's not a matter of what the issues are for windmills. It's a matter of what the citizens tell me they want. Okay, and that's what I'm trying to portray. And I understand I've seen all the slideshows, and I've gotten the emails about everything that's wrong and everything that's good. I've gotten some emails in support too. What I can tell you for sure is that there's definitely, as far as the feedback that I've gotten from, is there is overwhelming support for a strong wind ordinance. And unless that changes really quickly, then I can tell you that's what we're going to have. Okay, so to take the specific issues of what might be a negative drawbacks of the things, to me that's not really going to do a whole lot for. Do you understand what I'm getting to here?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Well, and one thing we've heard is you can't